Aucoin. Aucoin. Aucoin.
Did I say it incorrectly?
It's Aucoin.
Okay.
It's French. It means on the corner, which means my relatives probably were hookers.
Did I say
I started doing makeup when I was 11 years old, and Carla was 5. And my big dream was that we would, uh, escape Louisiana by becoming a sort of a team. She'd become a supermodel at 5. And I would be her makeup artist and photographer. It's also interesting because the fact that I thought to do makeup at 11 years old on Carla, and that she was 5 years old. This was in 1973, and this is before the concept of makeup artist really was a big concept like it is now. You know what I mean? There really weren't male makeup artists, and people were telling me, you can't do that. That's for sissies. That's a girl thing, makeup. I think that it was my being encouraged to draw and to paint that led me to do makeup. Do you know what I mean? Because that was acceptable. Makeup wasn't. Creating makes you feel like you're alive. When you're not creating, you're not living. And I felt so alive when I was creating. I was always, no matter what I did, I was very ambitious. And I always, if I was going to do something, I was going to do it right. Once my mother took me to a store called Hyman's, which was a department store in Lafayette, and we were going to buy school clothes and shoes. And we were walking around, and it was sort of a dark area of the store, and there was a light shining down on these shoes, and they were all brown shoes, and at the top were a pair of lime green patent leather penny loafers. They were girl shoes. And my eye just went right to the shoes. And I'm like, those are the shoes I want. And they happened to be my size. And I put them on. And my mother, bless her heart, trying to protect me from getting beat up at school or what God knows what my father was going to say, just did everything she could to sort of persuade me not to get the shoes, but without saying, you can't have them. And they were the joy of my life. I mean, they really were. They made me so happy I can't even begin to tell you. It was just being able to express myself that way. And my mother was a seamstress, and she would make my clothes. And I would, say, I want a black panel here and a yellow panel here and a blue sleeve here and a red sleeve there. And my mother was like, oh my God. Oh my God, he thinks he's Yves Saint Laurent. And this is, in the 60s in Louisiana. And I'd go to school dressed like that. Everybody had vests then, and they had fringe. Well, I had to have my fringe go all the way to the ground. You know what I mean? I had to be Diana Ross of the Supremes. I always had me, and that was enough. That was enough. Thank God. And now I've got a lot of people who love me, and a lot of people in my life, because I stuck with it, and I didn't give up. Looking back, I wouldn't change a thing that I've done. I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud that I stood up for what I believed in. And I knew there was a point to it all. I mean, back then as a child, you really don't know the big picture. But somewhere I knew deep down, we have the answers all within us always. We always have the answers. And I knew somewhere deep down that I was doing the right thing. I just knew I was doing the right thing. And the right thing was what I was supposed to do. And so I'm really proud of what I've achieved in that way. Not my success, not my book sales, not my fame or any of that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about every day being myself, regardless of the consequences. I obviously approach life with the theme that the most important opinion is your own. And that, listening to other people's opinions are important, but you have to temper it. You cannot allow anyone else to have a greater opinion than yourself, because we all know our truth. We all are born with our oneness with the world, but our oneness with ourselves. And I know that may sound, corny, but it's true. We all know we have something inside us that is a voice that is always the right answer. And if you just sit still long enough, you'll hear it and it'll come to you. Like I'm talking to you right now. This is coming from my truth. It's coming from where I live. It's where my home, my heart, it's coming from where the truth is. And so many people long to be accepted. It's just, they have that longing. Like I did as a kid. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be accepted. And I didn't have any of that. The only thing in the world that loved me was my dog. My dog and I. That's the only thing I had was my dog. And me. And me. And I didn't realize that till I got older that I had myself. I've never limited myself to be sort of one character or one person. And that's what my books are about. My books are about transforming people into other people to show people we have all this within us. We have every single person in this planet within us. Every emotion, every color, every shape and size. We are that. We are that. I'm everything. And to not allow myself to be everything I can be is it's like a guillotine. It's like chopping your head off. It's like why do that to yourself, when there's so much to explore and so much life to live, If you wait your whole life for somebody else to tell you it's okay to be you, you might wait forever. So you have to decide right now it's okay to be you. And if that means, being a boy and being a ballerina, or being a girl and being a truck driver, then do it. Because it's what you want to be. It's who you are. You're not deciding what you want to be. You're deciding to be who you are. And that's really, really, I think, the most important thing, is to respect and honor your truth. I think that's the most important thing. I think that my approach to makeup, or my approach to life, really has been to accentuate and enlarge imperfection. Imperfection is sort of my goal. People think I do makeup to make people look perfect, but I'm really trying to bring out individuality and uniqueness in people, and trying to make everyone as different as possible, because it's our differentness that makes us such a rich society and a rich world. And people don't understand America is the richest place of all, because we have more, colors and sizes and shapes and ages than anywhere in the world. And it's the most beautiful place. It really is. I love this country. I think it's fantastic. And I am really, really, hopefully, part of a movement that is about individuality and about people celebrating their uniqueness. I don't want to be tolerated. I want to be celebrated. My mission in life is to teach about beauty of the soul. And that was really, really what came through to me through this process of being a makeup artist and putting makeup on people's faces, but then learning how to dive into people's souls and to interpret that on their face, and to see their expression on someone's face, to see that joy and to see them discover a part of themselves they never knew they had, simply because of the way I've done their makeup, is it's a wonderful, wonderful blessing. And it makes me feel good, because I'm empowering women, which I really, my goal in life is to have women take over the world.